An easy way for Rob to be able to get more buckets, especially at this level, would just to add a floater into his game, right? If he adds a floater, he's gonna get an easy probably 4 to 6 points at this point in time, right? Easy 4 to 6 more points. So in these type of situations, deceleration is the most important thing, right? Because notice his jump, right? Notice where he takes himself once he gets through this little gap over here, right? He gets to this block and he's still jumping forward into the big, making that shot harder for himself. But if he improved his deceleration to the point where if he splits this and recognizes, oh, I want to get into a float, I stop as short as I can and I go up and I don't go out, that's a much easier float off the glass, and you're able to finish over these players who are much bigger than you are, right? But this is where his passing is shown as well, where he just stays patient underneath the rim, dump down to 33, not worried about the 3 second, he gets that dime. But watch these other scenarios and situations as well, right? He has this catch right here, fake that pass to that left, McCain drops back, open up a gap, another opportunity for a float. Big did not step up. If you learn how to just time your feet, time your gather the proper way, that's an easy float for a 2, right? Easy float for a 2, but you dump it down to your big and he gets blocked. He got to cut himself into quite a few of those situations throughout the summer league, right? Another situation down here where you get yourself into this area inside the arc, you see a dig for a second, he picks the ball up and gets into that float. But you got to get comfortable in close quarters if you do even want to be able to use a float in this situation. So understand, right? Because even though, all right, we got to dig over here, you have all this space out here. So you could be able to get past that dig, not worry about that pressure if you leave the ball out in front of you because you know this player is not even committed to you. And this is where you're able to get into a range where you have a roll over here. McCain may pinch in. You can have a skip if necessary. But you know Bradley's not going to commit. He's not going to step up. Float if he gets in that range. But that's a float from the free throw line, which is much tougher than a float that will be from around 8 feet. Maybe even off 2 as well. So much better look in that situation. And here's another one. Catch, boom, split. You know Bradley's not going to commit. Float. Another opportunity. This is just another way, right? It's just another way as to which someone like Rob, who is a great passer, could be able to just make better plays, because if he improved that float, the quality of look that will be in those situations will be better than what there would be if there's somebody who knows he's just getting down there to pass every single time, right? And so if he gets that float really good, maybe you get that commitment, you dump down, you get an easy 2 at the rim. But if you always get to that spot and they know you're going to dump it off, they're never going to commit. And now the 2 that you get from there is going to be a much lower quality of a look. So him adding that floater in is going to help a ton, especially going against players who are 6'10 to 7 feet when you reach that weak side help. When it comes to individual matchups, when one's on offense, when another one's on defense, physicality would really determine who wins oftentimes. And so when you see McCain go down here, you see him put that left hand on the Rob. That's the beginning of contact. That's the beginning of the physicality in this matchup. And by McCain being the first one to initiate and then now creating all this separation, Rob does not have a chance to retaliate. And so with that separation, Rob is now at a disadvantage and he has an angle to be able to get to the rim because now he's just chasing and just trying to find his way back in front. And so McCain simply won the matchup only because he was the first one to seek contact. And now he's able to get there and get that lay. So as a defender, embracing that physicality is important. Same thing as an offensive player. And if you understand how much it could do for you on offense, imagine if you just took the same concept and applied it to defense. And now think about how much better of a defender you will be. Right now would be the perfect time for you to attack the top foot. Because if you look to McCain's left side, you got Rob Dillingham, who's on the side of Jared McCain's primary defender's back foot. So not only will the person in front of McCain be able to stay in front of that step even better, but McCain, you know he's going to dig, right? Or Dillingham, you know he's going to dig. But if you look to that right side, you have a strong side corner, someone who's sliding down, and if you attack that top foot, your defender's ability to recover off of that attack is going to be slower because you're going to have to flip your base, and now you're in illegal guarding position, and strong side corners usually don't help. So this is a time you should attack that top foot. And it's not really going to be often that you will see a defender lead you to that middle. Not going to be often. But the most important thing is to understand what's on the other side. What lies at that next level. Strong side corner, no help. Or if they do, boom, swing, easy shot from the corner. Or you try to go to that left side, you don't really have that much space. So now what ends up happening, he hesitated on that tween instead of just going and making that attack. Turns it over late game. McCain's going to get himself in a spot to where when you're ultra aggressive, you end up seeming like you're forcing a lot of things, right? You're going to be taking shots that's like, yo, why'd you take that? You could have got a much better shot, a much better look, right? So watch these next couple of possessions, because this ultimately, though, it is Summer League, right? It is Summer League to where it's like, okay, we could afford that a little bit, but you don't want to pick up a bad habit and a bad tendency, right? And so good defense on that first possession by Rob. And now you got Jared McCain coming down here again with this screen. And you're about to see a lot of hesitancy because he's only seeking to get his bucket and for him to score. So understand from the top, you have the angle to get to his left side. Doesn't use it. I want to reject, see if I can get that angle. Now I got a half spin, spin again, and I got to get another angle on the screen. Now once I even get even with the screen, see the step up there, I freeze up. But this is where you really should not freeze up, because how much space you do have if you don't freeze up and actually go, right? Because you know he's not really here to commit. They're not going to switch this action. So on Jared McCain's behalf, if you just try to turn this corner, use all of the room you have on this wing, it's going to put a lot of pressure on this weak side to now step over on this tag. And McCain is a great passer with his right, with his left, and being able to make these reads. And so he'll be in a great position to be able to make a play. But now instead of using that space, he hops out, and now he gets back here where he's practically squared with Rob Dillingham once again. And even though he does get here, arm gets pulled a little bit, you know they're not going to make that call in the Summer League that often because there ain't no superstars around here, right? They ain't going to be out here making these little bitty foul calls, especially when you took all them dribbles to get to where you wanted to get to. They not going to call that. And so now these next few possessions down is where you're going to see him make an adjustment in terms of his attack to where he's going to score a lot more efficiently, right? So now this time he's just running his lane. And this is probably where he's going to be oftentimes playing with Maxi, PG, and those dudes, right? Running the lane, playing the corners, playing the wing, playing quick, playing smart. And so now here you got this pick and roll on the right side. You got Shannon Jr. over here ball watching. You get down toward the corner, backdoor cut, boom, reverse lay, easy too, right? And this is also going to help build the rhythm for shots he may end up getting down the line like this one. That may be a little tougher, but since the last time I went to go and actually attack, that's the last shot I remember. I got this easy layup. I got calmed down. I relaxed a little bit. These shots that may seem tougher aren't really going to be that tough. And so when you got this screen from 27 getting to his left side, got the drop coverage right here, right? Got the drop coverage right here. And so with the defender chasing over the top, boom, pound, cross step to that left side. Seems tough. But if you really compare that with the possession we seen two back, where he was doing all the rejects, half spins, then had to hesitate for a second, then got back in front, changed the direction. That move at the end might seem tougher, but it's not, because he did not have to think as much. He didn't hesitate nearly as much, and he just got straight into his move. Peep the scoreboard, 89-88. And this is a repercussion of you not going to seek contact. This is the quality of looks you will get, especially in pick and rolls, right? And so being in this situation, Rob damn near at half court, defender about 5 feet back. You got a screen happening right here, and now with all this room that's happening, that's left there, and the screener that's not willing to sit there and hit on that screen, Rob's not going to get no angles, right? So on Rob's behalf, what should he do better in this situation to be able to get his angles? He just got to simply start from a lower level, so then he could be able to lead his defender to that screen, not give him so much room to blow up these screens, and now actually be able to use this screener somewhat to get a good angle. But now being here and having all that room, defender gets right back square, and it's an isolation. And if you just seen Rob play this far, he's not really the one to really go for that isolation and not think so much about what he's doing, right? So first go move happens, behind the back happens. Another situation where you playing so far back, he's able to beat you to your spots and you get called for that offensive foul. So angles could be established a lot better if he sought that contact, so then he could lead his defender into that screen, so then he could be able to create the space that he needs and get to exactly where he wants.